Alright, hello. So this is going to be our intro into Python. So before we can start the actual delve into the Discord bot, first we need to learn out how to download Python and the differences between how Python works versus JavaScript, which you all learned last year. So first thing you want to just do is search up Python download on your computer, assuming you haven't already downloaded Python. If you already downloaded Python, you can skip. So you're going to go here, and you're just going to click download right there to download Python. Click here, and you're going to click install now, just like that. You're going to click on that. They're going to install. Take a little bit just to install all the different Python dependencies, and just click this one at the top. It's going to be the most recent one that's supported. We'll take a little second. Here we go, and it should be done just about now. There we go. Okay, close. So setup was successful. So now what you're going to want to do is you want to go into VS Code, which if you don't have VS Code, just going to go here, just search up VS Code, and make sure it's the code one, Visual Studio Code. And make sure you download Stable Build for Windows. If you have any questions, you can just ask me. So now you're going to open here. It's going to ask you to create a new folder. So you're going to go open folder and new, create a new folder, name it whatever you want to. And then you're going to select the folder. So now it'll just open this blank workspace. Now you're going to go to here, and you're going to create a new file. New file, just with this plus right here, and just write anything. I'm just going to call it tutorial, and you're going to write .py for .py. So now this is going to open up a Python interface. Now at this point it'll probably prompt you, because I already have it, I don't have it, to install the Python extension right here. So it's going to be in Python. You're just going to click install, and it's going to install a bunch of different stuff that'll just make it easier to code in Python here. So now go back to this file. So how Python works is, unlike JavaScript where you're like drawing something on a thing, this works completely here. So let's say print is how you write stuff. So like just hello world, just like that. And now you're going to Control S to save it, and then you're going to hold the function button F5. Click enter for the Python file. It's going to run in this terminal here, hello world, just like that. Perfect. Now you can use this to write whatever you want code, and it'll highlight it. As you can see right there, it'll highlight the code for what you want. So let's just go into the basics of Python and how it differs from JavaScript. So the first thing is imports. So Python is a pretty simple language by itself. However, in order to get more complex stuff, you're going to have to import libraries. Now, you do this is the command line. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it, but I'm only going to show the very basics here. If you write pip, it might be pip, it might be Python, or it might be Python 3, or pip 3. It could be any of them. It kind of just depends. Python can be finicky sometimes. So just write whatever you want to try. Usually just try pip to start out with, and then install, and then something. For this tutorial, we're not going to do anything, but in the next one, we're going to do discord.py. Okay? Or just Discord. Just like that, and see it just install all the Discord stuff. You're not going to need that till next one, but I just wanted to show you how to do that. So, how you can do that is then at the top, you'd write import Discord. And it would import all the dependencies that we can use to create a Discord bot, but we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to go through the basics. So, as you know, in JavaScript, whenever you write something, you can do like x equals 3, and you need to do a semicolon. However, you can see there's a red there. Python, you do not need that semicolon. Python, there's no semicolons, no brackets, no curly brackets, anything. It's very simply written. So you want to have x equals 3, just like that. All right. Instead of the console.log that you're used to, it's instead going to be print. And I'm going to make a little cheat sheet so you can just look back at this. So you're going to write print. That's instead of console.log. Now, if statements, instead of doing the if x equals 3, like that we're used to, instead, we're just going to write if x equals 3, colon. And that colon is super important. And then you have to do it and then print hello world, just like that. So now we're going to just set x equal to 3, and then we're going to, here, we'll set x equal to 4, and then we'll just copy and paste this right here. Now you can see that when we run it, F5 again, it only prints it once because x equals 4 here. Now, as you know, in JavaScript, if you want to do the AND operator, you do 2 of those signs like that, or it would be 2 of these lines. Instead, we just have to write AND, so we need like x is equal to 3, and y is equal to 4, or we can do or, just write or, just like that. And you do that colon there, and the indents are super important. If you don't have this indent perfectly, your code is not going to run, so make sure to always check your indents. The next thing is for loops. So normally in JavaScript, we'd write for I equals 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, just like that, and then you write all the code in there for the loop. Python's a little bit different. You still write the for, just like that, and then what you're going to do is I in range, and then you're going to write 0 to 5, right? And so how it works is it's going to, let's print I, just like that, and we'll run this. And it's going to print 0 through 4. So when you do this number, comma, number, how it's going to work, 0 to 5, it'll run it for I equals 0, and I equals every single number up to 1 before this. Kind of how it's a less than. So it's I equals 0 to less than 5. If you add another one, it's the how much it increments. So instead of going, it normally goes by 1. If we do this, it's going to go by 2. So we're only get 0 to 4, just like that. Additionally, there's this thing called list comprehension, which isn't super important right now. It will become important. I'll explain it more later. But let's say we just have a list, which for a list, all you need to do is this. We're going to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Now we're going to do for num in list, and the num can be any name. It doesn't have to be this, but this is the name of that variable, which we just have as list. We can print num, and it's going to go through for every single index of that list. It's going to print out 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. All right. Now, we've already gone through colons and indenting, and then the last two things are going to be f-strings and random. So, normally, how you would write something in JavaScript is you concatenate it. So, if we have a num, and the num is 3, and we want to print out the number is, then we just go like this, num. Right, and we do this, and this works fine, right? Actually, it does not. Yes, it does not work. So this doesn't work. So we can't do the plus, which you can do in JavaScript. So you have to do it a little bit differently. So instead, what you do is it's called an F string. So you put an F right before the quotation marks. You put an F right there, and then when you want to put it in, you do curly braces and then just write num. Now, if we print this out, number is 3. Perfect, just like that. And the final thing is random. So this is something that's the f-string is going to be important because when you're having your Discord bot print things to the Discord, you're going to want to have it say specific things based on what the variables are. Now, random. Random is going to be important if you want to do rock, paper, scissors, or any types of games. So first, you're just going to have to write import random, just like that. And then if we want a random number, we're going to num equals random.randint. This is the one you'll probably use the most. And you can pick a range. So you could, let's say we're doing rock, paper, scissors. You do 0 to 2 because it includes both endpoints. Unlike the for loop, which if it was 0 to 5 would actually be 0 to 4. In this case, 0 to 2 is actually 0 to 2. Okay, so we do that, and now what we're going to do is we're going to just, we're going to make a for loop. So we'll do for I in range 0 to 5. All right, make sure we have that colon, get the indent, and then we'll just print num, just like that. Now, if we do this, we can see 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. Huh. No, it can't be 3. Okay, yeah, I was right. Never mind. All right, so those are the main things that are going to be important. So just remember, you don't need those colons, you don't need those parentheses, and unless you're doing an S-string, you don't need those curly brackets, and make sure to pay attention to indenting, and that will all be important as we move in to our actual first video. Bye!